So those were sounds from the Baba Yara Stadium yesterday as chaos reigned following the defeat of Asante Kotoko to Brecum Chelsea. The game ended 1-0, but it wasn't about the football from then until now. The game will be remembered. It's being remembered for the violence afterwards. So we'll try and establish, beyond what you heard in the Joy Midday News on the football side, what really led to the incident and how were the referees responsible from a fan point of view. Don't forget that the police are going with their investigation. But I want to speak to a couple of fans who went into the stadium, who experienced what happened, and as they express their disappointment and add their voices to the condemnation, we've got a shocking, really, to put it mildly, a very, very shocking perspective to this. One official of Asante Kotoko's Greater Accra Circles, that is the Greater Accra fan wing, had this to say.
I mean, it looks as if they came in for a purpose, and some of us will be vindicated. Say, Ketokraku, FA president, he has something bad against Asante Kotoko. We said it right from the beginning, from day one, and we are all saying this is. I'm telling you, yeah. We know them. We know where they are coming from. We know their plan. We know everything that they have in mind. Look. They came here to destroy Kotoko before we go to Takwa on Wednesday. That is the purpose. I saw it coming.
Just for emphasis, let's play it again. He is the Greater Accra sect. Today we are going to name and shame because we really don't want to be talking about these things this time next year. His name is Seth Nidakwa, and he's the Greater Accra Circles boss of Asante Kotoko.
I mean, it looks as if they came in for a purpose, and some of us will be vindicated. Ketokraku, FA president, he has something bad against Asante Kotoko. We said it right from the beginning, from day one, and we are all saying this is. I'm telling you, yeah. We know them. We know where they are coming from. We know their plan. We know everything that they have in mind. Look, they came here to destroy Kotoko before we go to Takwa on Wednesday. That is the purpose. I saw it coming.
So yeah. We'll talk about him in a bit. George Addo Jr. is here with me as well. We'll be going to several fans who were at the stadium to give us an idea of what they saw. I mean, we know what the official versions are, but even as we are all helping and to give the police vital information on what has happened, they've requested videos. So we've asked these supporters to send the videos to the numbers that the police provided. It's all here on the Joy Sports Trap. But just to give you an idea, and to put it in context, here is the report of the incident as was seen by our correspondent Kelvin Owusu-Ansah from Love FM. This was played this morning on the Joy Sports Center.
A fan believed to be a Kumasi Asante Kotoko supporter was shot and badly wounded at the Barbara Sports Stadium following the 1-0 loss to Brecum Chelsea on March Day 3. Kofi Owusu's solitary goal was enough to earn Chelsea the maximum point. Items including bottles and sachet water were thrown onto the pitch, which brought the game to a halt for almost 10 minutes. In the 77th minute, after Mpem Da Costa was shown a second caution that put him off the game for the remaining 30 minutes. Referee Charles Bulu was deemed by Kumasi Asante Kotoko supporters not to have been fair and decided to wait for him at the end of the game and express their frustration at him. After the final whistle, the supporters continued their protest and security on guard started firing warning shots to disperse the irate supporters. Unfortunately, one person was hit by a rubber bullet and left in to bleed since everyone was afraid of approaching him, where he was lying until a few people gathered courage to pick him and rush him into the police ambulance to the hospital. It is unconfirmed whether he is still alive or dead, receiving treatment.
So that was this morning's report, but thankfully, as we've heard in our various bulletins so far, Kwesi Opong, who is a trot driver, is alive. He's doing well. The official account of Asante Kotoko have issued a statement saying that he's still at the Konfano Teaching Hospital and he's doing well. He's recovering. So that is what we know about the man. The wife spoke to the Midday News team, says he's the breadwinner of the family and so on and so forth. We are thankful that he did not lose his life. But the perspective we want to look at today is from the FA side. It's almost 20 hours since the incident. We've not had an official statement from the GFA saying that, they are sanctioning anybody. Lots of you on our social media platforms are asking why it's taking so long. So we'll try and put it in context about why there is the need for the FA not to rush before coming out with a judgment and so on and so forth. But first of all, Delali Atiase is from the sports desk of Love FM and is on the line. Thank you for joining us, Delali.
You're welcome, Gary.
Yes, you visited the hospital. Since the midday news, what else can you report about the man who was in critical condition, Kwesi Pong?
Well, nothing much has happened since midday. It's just that the guy is in a stable condition. Although we spoke to the doctor who was taking care of him, and he did say, I asked him specifically the extent of damage to the eye. He says that the eye is severely damaged, and I asked whether there is the possibility that the right eye, which is damaged, he could get sight. He says that he's not too sure, and so that's what we can say for now. Kotoko, the officials of Kotoko were also at the hospital. The PRO, the supporters leadership, including the Greater Accra Circles chairman as well as the National Circles chairman. The PRO informed me that they were going to also issue a statement, but that was after the police had come in with their statement. So we are all still expecting that press release from Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But other than that, nothing much has happened. Although the police, after the police also released the statement, I had opportunity to speak to the PRO of the Ashanti Regional Police Commanders, Governor Hiano, and we asked whether there was going to be any compensation package. He says no, they will want to complete investigations before they will start talking about that. I guess that it's public knowledge now that the police who was identified to have shot the fan has been interdicted. So that's what we have for now.
Right, so the GFA have issued a statement condemning it. We know that the police have also issued a statement with the details that you gave. The National Sports Authority in the last 10 minutes or so have issued a statement. I'll come to you, but did you say that you were also with the Greater Accra Circles PRO?
Yes, I was with him.
Okay, not him. So Nidako, whose video you've seen trending, I'm sure you've seen the video trending. What are Kotoko saying about what he said? We played the video of him saying that Keto Kreku is to blame because the GFA, the new leadership, have an agenda against Asante Kotoko as well. Surely, this statement is something that should be condemned.
Yes, indeed, it's a statement that should be condemned. But honestly speaking, I didn't ask specifically questions towards that particular statement from that. But then the Greater Accra Regional Circles chairman, Nana Kwame Dankwa, I think we've sent you the videos. You get it. He said that they are disappointed in what happened. They are disappointed in their fans for the action they took. They are disappointed in the police, and they are also disappointed in the way the officials handled the match. So I would say that in essence, he condemned all the parties that were involved in getting to where we are now.
Interesting. Please stay with us. Now, the statement from the National Sports Authority also speaks about the incident. It says that checks by officials of the NSA at the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital indicate that the fan, Kwesi Pong, who was hit with 4 rubber bullets, is responding to treatment and is in a stable condition. Medical doctors who are currently attending to the victim have managed to save him from any life-threatening situations by removing 2 of the rubber bullets. So this is from the NSA. It also says that in a related development, the Ashanti Regional Director of the authority has written to the Regional Police Command to expedite investigations into the matter to ascertain the basis for this unfortunate incident. We wish to use this medium to assure the general public that the appropriate sanctions will be applied to anyone found guilty in this matter after full investigations has been conducted. In fact, I must read the beginning of the statement, which says that prior to the commencement of the 2019-2020 league, the National Sports Authority issued a press statement to caution fans on possible sanctions that could be applied for misconduct at various league centers. You have also said, Dela, that the Nana Kwame Dankwa blamed almost everybody, the police, the match officials, and so on. But, I mean, just playing the devil's advocate, why would he blame the officials of the match?
Well, indeed, that's the question. Yeah, interesting question you asked in there. Why would he blame the officials? They are still feeling that. I guess that a section of them still feel that it was a wrong call from the referee. But I think that there is video footage of what happened. An incident occurred at the blind side of the referee. He was alerted by the 4th official. That's how come it happened. But you see, Gary, in all this, we need to be, before the league started, the GFA took it upon itself to educate not just the club officials, but then even the technical team, as well as the match commissioners and all the stakeholders involved in this particular competition. Now, if it gets to a point where you have officials or technical team members of a particular club, I'm also finding themselves in what happened. It directs the actions of the fans, and I'm very disappointed about the way the Kotoko technical bench, including Coach Max Okredu, handled the way they came out of their box from their dugout, went to the match officials. And if you look at the player like Emmanuel Jensi, his behavior on the touchline, hitting his hand, banging his hand on the table of the fourth official, I mean, this all culminated in the reaction of the fans. And so that's why I'm probably saying that, well, everybody should be blamed. But for the referee, I'll be a bit surprised about that statement, but I did not interrogate it that much. All that he said was that they are all disappointed in whatever happened in there. But Gary, just before we go, if we also take a look at the statement from the Ghana Police Service, I think that they've also left a lot of questions in there that needs to be asked.
Okay, so we can look at the police statement now. It says that, one, the Ashanti Regional Police Command has commenced investigations into the unfortunate incident that left one person injured on Sunday, 12 January. Incident occurred when supporters of Asante Kotoko went on rampage after their league match against Brekum Chelsea FC at the stadium, damaging some police vehicles and injuring some police officers with stones that were pelted at the police. It was during this period that a police officer was alleged to have shot rubber bullets into the crowd, injuring one of the fans in the face. The injured person... Yes, go on.
Can we hold it there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so who are the police officers that were involved in here? They should let us know. Which of their cars were damaged, if indeed it was damaged? Which of the cars are they talking about? You see, they've also left a lot of questions in there that needs to be answered. And so we are trying our bit here in Kumasi to get to the...
This is a preliminary statement. You see, they can...
Anyway.
Yeah. So it's a process. And I'm glad you asked this question, Delali, because it feeds into... the public outcry is that if we need our football to be normalized, human beings are going to be silly or stupid once a while. But when they are silly or stupid, the action has to be swift, has to be quick, and has to be, just. But justice has also needs to be grounded in fact, and that is what I want to focus on this show. Even though we are asking the GFA to do this, to do that, the police to do this, to do that, they need to have correct evidence so that when they come out, nothing will be left to chance. If you agree with me.
I do agree with you.
Yeah.
But you see, in instances of this nature, the moment you are able to, come out with a statement to say that police officers were stoned or were pelted with stones and vehicles vandalized, against that by now you should have the information of the vehicles and the police officers who got themselves or who are victims of this. And so, not to create or to, give us the room to speculate, let us know. Then we know that indeed there was something untoward from the part of the fans. But Gary, the police car came to the stadium, was able to rescue the officials. That was the main thing the police did, to rescue the officials. So
Which officials?
The match officials.
Okay.
After getting them into the other armored vehicle, what was the essence in the shooting again? Because the supporters were ready to vent their spleen on the officials. You've been able to rescue them into the car. You are moving away. So can't you even fire a warning shot? Can't you fire a rubber bullet in the air? You don't direct it to the supporters. Nobody is holding brief for the supporters for their actions. But I think that the inactions of the police and their management of crowd is very much to be desired. It leaves much to be desired.
Okay, all right. So just because this is a developing story, we develop and update as we go along. So the match happened at the Baba Yara Stadium. The ref during the match between Kotoko and Brekum Chelsea was Charles Bulu. The assistant, one was Kwesi Brobe, assistant two was Roland Ali Adi. The fourth ref was Julian Nunu. The match commissioner is Odro Nyakon. We have tried to get the GFA to give us an idea to speak to this important question. One, why don't we have a definite statement as to what happened from the match commissioner as yet? But they don't want to speak. But what we are getting at the moment is that the match commissioner's report is available, but they want to tally it with what the police gave in terms of the report before they bring out a conclusive statement, which I think makes sense.
Hello, Gary.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah, I lost you a bit.
Okay. I'm saying that the GFA are saying that. So the match commissioner is Mr. Is it Samuel Odonyako?
Okay.
Odonyako, he was the match commissioner. So as per the rules of the game, and George will join me here. George, per the rules of the game, what we know is that before the GFA can issue a statement, they need the official eyewitness,
Yep.
who in this case would be the ref and the match commissioner. So when they sign off, then they can give a definite answer as to what can be done, to Asante Kotoko, right?
Yeah, of course. So we can understand why they haven't come in with a definite.
But has it taken too long?
I feel that the new era we should be quicker.
We should be quicker
because the match commissioner's report could have been sent after the game, immediately after the game,
especially for a special
case like this, and the referee's report should have also gone in, and then they could tally things and be very fast with it, because as the minutes and the hours tick,
there'll be
speculation and it's becoming something.
Okay, Dalali, before I let you go, remind me, Charles Bulu, we saw at least 3 different influential Kotoko fans, they did not incite, and I want to use that word. I've seen a couple of journalists saying that they were inciting people. What they were doing was that they were cautioning the ref, because the ref has history with Kotoko, doesn't he? About 4 seasons ago.
Yes,
so remind us of what history he has with Asante Kotoko.
There was a game between Kotoko and Neo Biase at the Bekwai Gemfish Park, where Charles Bulu is alleged to have awarded a controversial penalty against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So, at the back of the mind of the fans, they still have it in there. And so, every little thing that the referee does in their matches, it brings back those memories, and they feel that he has a position against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But you see, whether we like it or not, a referee having a position against your club does not also give you the supporters the right to do what they were also doing on the day. And so I think that maybe, from my perspective, maybe the GFA and appointments committee will do Charles Bulu a lot of good by deciding that, look, let's even forget appointing him for Kotoko matches. But then if you do that, the question is, what is the professionalism?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we can't just be saying that because he officiated a match against Kotoko and he awarded a dubious penalty, it means that consistently he has something against Kotoko. So whatever he does, the fans will not appreciate it. I think we need more education for our fans. Honestly speaking, it does not mean that they should also take the law into their hands. And it's becoming a little unbecoming of Kumasi Asante Kotoko fans at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, because in recent times it's become one too many.
I know. You could list several instances, but again, we don't want to do any victim blaming on the show here. We just want to establish that, some of these acts are not good. But on the line is Enoch. Enoch, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm on the line.
Yes, Enoch Frimpong, I believe.
Enoch Pinkra.
Enoch Pinkra, yes. You are a fan, you are at the stadium. So you are one of the fans we would like to speak to give us an idea of what the atmosphere was like before this game. Kotoko had won 2 games in 2. Going into the stadium, where were you seated, and what was the vibe ahead of the game like?
Okay, so leading to the game yesterday, it was a charged atmosphere at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, where a lot of fans were expecting the team to win again. So they'll be having 9 points out of possible 9. So, as things were going right, you still could hear from the point of the games don't like this. They don't like this referee because of some things that he has done. They're giving red cards to their teams, and also most clear to penalties, and they should be losing at Mujama and other sides. You could hear from the fans talking about all these and things. Then, you in a game 2, against Attack, a lot of I could reading results. Pinpoint a lot of mistakes that they were doing. I don't know. It was a poor officiating though, but you can't just say that because of a poor officiating, people should start showing things about.
Good.
The referee should also up their game, because if we continue to do on, I think it's going to bring a lot of difference anything between the fans and also the fans, because we want to actually bring the love back into our game. And if we still don't want to bring the love back, then everything should be fair. We should be fair in everything that we do. Understand? So
okay, Enoch, I'm happy you mentioned the 3 different things you have. You say the atmosphere was charged, you're expecting a win, and then you say that the ref gave decisions that did not favor Kotoko, and people were not happy because you thought it was not fair. But then you go on to condemn the actions of the fans, which is the spectrum that I like to see. As a Kotoko fan, obviously, you would see the game a certain way and all that. But would you agree with me that in the World Cup final, Champions League, UEFA Champions League, African Champions League, AFCON final, the biggest competitions in the world see controversial decisions, right?
Yes.
It will never go away. So long as we have subjective human beings who are going to make calls, even we have technology and VAR, even then we seem to be having much more controversy than in the past. You get what I mean? So I just want to say that for you who go to the stadium, and Enoch, this is not the first time you've contributed to my program, so I know that you are a very regular at the Baba Yara Stadium. I'd like you to keep telling your friends that no matter which ref comes, there are bound to be decisions that you will not like.
Yeah.
But how you act determines how everybody is going to see everything. But basically, I want you to tell me some of the decisions that you think he did not give fairly or correctly in this game between Kotoko and Berekum Chelsea.
With the referees, a lot of mistakes, some 50-50 chances, which it was always going against.
Let me stop you there. You said 50-50.
Yeah.
Which means that it could have gone your way, it could have gone Chelsea's way.
What do you say?
50-50 balls means that it could have gone Kotoko's way and it could have gone the way of Chelsea, right?
It was like the favor was on Berekum Chelsea all throughout the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and also what even led to the throwing of missiles and stuff was the red card that was given to Anthony Da Costa, which he was not involved in the act. It was Adam Frempong. Yeah.
Okay.
Adam who actually had who actually went for that bad tackle. So if you are supposed to give a yellow card, it was to be given to Adam, not Anthony Da Costa, because Anthony Da Costa was already having a yellow card. So he catching another one will actually be a red card. So when he gets that out, and the fans were like, it actually like it turned really, really well. I don't know. A lot like it does happen. I don't know. Whenever the fans get bored at Kovasi Stadium, the Baba Yara Stadium, it's one of the first things that happens is throwing of water.
One of the first things that happens when fans get angry at the yeah.
It happens all the time. Whenever this things don't go their way, they always throw.
And you know they can't do that. You know they can't do that. This cannot continue.
It's really bad because let's just say last season's Cup Champions League final, where DL failed.
Yeah. I remember.
Just because the home team, it didn't turn out to be a rowdy incident, just like what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Even they that were in the finals, which was that bad because they went away and the same VAR went ruled against them, and they're playing at home, and it's really against them too. But in Kotoko's games, I can give you a lot of incidents where this same thing has happened.
I know. We know. But Enoch, stay with us because you are not the only fan we are going to talk to. I'm really happy that you are saying what you are saying because we need you match going fans, and I know you guys are the regular ones to be the ambassadors and to be the, if you like, the George was the word. The evangelists.
I'll take it. Yes.
You know, the GFA can do what they want to do. We can do what but if it's people like Enoch who put the message out there, it will sing deeper. Let me speak to Eko Blankson. He was also at the stadium. I saw Eko on Twitter today. Eko, welcome to Joy FM.
Thanks.
Yeah. My man, Charlie, this morning you were very, very angry on Twitter.
Exactly. And I've heard a lot of misrepresentation of what actually happened.
So tell us what you saw from your perspective,
and it's not good. Now this is what happened. There was a foul on Martin Kujo, and then I don't know how the ball was coming towards the Berekum Chelsea the bench, the bench area. So I saw Anthony Da Costa running towards the ball. Now there was another Berekum Chelsea player also getting closer to the ball, and then there was Adam Frempong also running towards the ball. So what happened was that Anthony Da Costa never stepped on the Berekum Chelsea player. It was simulation. I was close up and I was looking at it very carefully. It was simulation, and so he got to the ground. Now, as soon as the Chelsea player got to the ground, Kwame Frempong was actually trying to get him up so they can continue with play.
The game, yeah.
And then he threw a punch. As soon as he threw a punch, the linesman actually went on the pitch to try to sort out the issue. Now, here's what I don't understand. When a player throws a punch, obviously it's a red card. Now, make no mistake, the central referee did not see the incident.
Good. I like that.
The central referee did not see the incident. It was the linesman and the assistant, the fourth referee, who communicated something to him. Now, Gary, here's the scenario. If I'm a central referee, I did not see some incident that happened on the test because I'm attending to something different. And then you are reporting to me. Why will I give a player yellow card in a Ampim Da Costa and give another player who throws a punch a yellow card? So my question here is, what was the communication to the referee for him to have issued those 2 yellow cards?
I'm glad you mentioned the things you do, because the video, there's a video on Twitter. You've seen the video as well. Now, what we see, it is not, first of all, it is not in a super slow-mo, and it's not zoomed into the details as well. So
I am also happy you said that.
Yes. So what we see from our side can corroborate the first part of what you say, which is that we see a Berekum Chelsea player sort of going towards the ball, which is rolling. And then the Kotoko player, presumably because he wants to restart play because Kotoko are down by a goal, wants to restart play quickly, is running towards the ball, which is now with the Berekum Chelsea player. Now, what we don't see well is whether he stamps the player or not from our angle. What we see is the reaction from the Berekum Chelsea player. He raises his leg and gives us the impression that he has been stamped. Now, if you will be fair to the assistant ref, possibly, this is what he may think that he may have seen. Am I right in saying that?
Okay, you may be right in saying that, but I am saying that in reporting to the central referee, who did not see any of the things that went on between those 3 players, what was the communication?
But because he has given a yellow card to both the Kotoko player
threw a punch.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a red card. It's not a yellow card offense.
Agreed. So, which is why it goes back to the point where I'm making that, you see, you have given your view. Enoch Pinkra has given his view. Our journalist has also given his view. Now we need the match commissioner's report ASAP, because the match commissioner's report will contain the view of the ref who did not see the incident, the assistant ref's view, and then the match commissioner's verdict, and then
I understand, Gary, but I think that in all of these,
yes, go ahead.
I think the linesman should have been the one to help this whole discussion.
But what if the linesman gives a verdict that is not the same as yours as a fan?
As in, if he's only saying the same thing as I'm saying.
No, what if he's not saying the same thing? As in, he is saying that yes, he saw what you say you saw, but he communicated to the ref that because the 2 players were in an altercation, you see, he felt that.
Now, Gary, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
The real altercation was between Kwame Adom Frimpong and
Martin Kujo,
the Chelsea player. At that time when the Chelsea player was on the pitch, Ampim Da Costa had left because he went for the ball. So he had left. He was nowhere close to the altercation between the Chelsea player and Kwame Adom Frimpong. So when Kwame was actually trying to get the Chelsea player up so we restart the game, he threw a punch. So that was when the assistant linesman, the linesman obviously, saw it and went on the turf.
Okay, good. So we have established that this is what you saw. Enoch, are you still on the line?
Yeah, I'm on the line.
All right, so this is Joy 99.7 FM. We have 19 minutes to 2 here in our studios. We are looking at the fallout from the shooting incident. We've given the official version. The police say that investigations are continuing. They've interdicted the police officer. The man who was shot in the eye with 4 rubber bullets, and the 4 rubber bullets version is coming from the National Sports Authority. We understand that his name is Kwesi Pong. He's a trotro driver. According to the doctor who spoke to Delali Atiase, a reporter, his eyesight is likely to be restored for the moment, and so we hope that does not happen and his eyesight can be restored. He's the breadwinner of his family. He has 3 children. His wife says that they don't know what to do at the moment. But we are looking at the football side because about 20 hours or 22 hours actually after the incident. We don't have an official statement detailing what actually happened in the game from the Ghana Football Association. Officials of the GFA we have spoken to who do not want to speak on record say that they are delaying the action because they want to get, one, the police angle, two, the match commissioner's angle, the assistant referee's angle, and so on. While investigation is continuing, we are just doing our part by just getting the fan view. So we have taken the trouble to get to different fans who were at the stadium, and two of them are on the line, Enoch Pinkra and Eko Blankson. So they are those you are hearing on the line right now. So Enoch and Eko, I just want to finish with you guys. What would you like to say about everything that has gone on? Obviously, you all don't agree with certain calls by the match officials and all that, but you guys who go to the stadium all the time surely must now feel unsafe when going to Kotoko fans, because Enoch has said that this behavior is something that Kotoko fans do a lot, and it's something that he, as a match-going fan, has seen. What would you like to say to your fellow fans who attend matches at the stadium all the time? So Enoch, you first, because you have not spoken for a while. Enoch, you first.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Enoch, we are listening to you.
Okay. So what I can say is, see, we are in the 21st century, not in the 20th century. We cannot use physical, I don't know, like we cannot use
violence, basically.
Someone said about this is the 21st century, and if you really want to enjoy a game, see, it's not all the time that the decision will go away or something like that. But if you do really want to enjoy a game, you just stay calm, be calm. Whatever happens, you make a report to your team management or something. They will make a report to the FA. Whatever that it is, if the referee needs to be sanctioned, he will be sanctioned. But you can't just take the law into your own hands, giving the missiles and all of that into the place. Like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And yesterday I was just reading a lot of news, and other African countries are just capturing like
it's giving us a bad name, right? It's giving us a bad name.
Yeah, it has given the country Ghana a bad name, and also the name Kotoko. Like, I don't know, it's a big club in African football. Understand?
Okay, all right.
How do you do them? It's a big club in African football, and you can't just be doing like our fans have been applauded by CAF. But giving like coming to the stadium match and giving our game. Yeah, so we can't, if this thing continues, and it'll be like, even if they've given us the right to take a final, the cup, Confederation Cup or Cup Championship, they will not even, like, these fans are rowdy. What if they go and do something happens?
Okay.
So we should actually do all to preserve the name of the team.
Okay, all right. Enoch, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Eko, stay with us. Enoch, you will go now. Eko, what do you have to say? I mean, looking at everything in totality, what is your final view on everything that's happened from the fan point of view, officials, and so on?
Obviously, there were things that happened yesterday that is so despicable. I mean, we don't do that as far as. Here's the point. I think we still don't understand football as a people. We keep saying football is a passion of the nation, but the hard truth is that we still don't understand football. Now, why will I support an European team and they lose, and I go home and eat and sleep quietly? The next day I'll go and pay for subscription and watch my team play again, whether they lose or win or draw. I still go home in peace. And then I go to the stadium, Babayara or wherever in Ghana, and I want to misbehave. It tells you that we still have to psych ourselves up as a people following football. Of course, football comes with a lot of emotions and all, but hey, I think we still need to talk to ourselves as fans when we go to the stadium, try to control our emotions and all that. I think it's a collective thing that we all have to do to bring sanity in the game, and so that after 90 minutes or 90 plus minutes, we go home in peace. I mean, nobody wants to come watch football and at the end of the day loses his or her life.
Yeah. So I want to ask you this. I mean, after the game, when the incident happened, and
right.
What was the reaction of people in your family, those who knew you had gone to the stadium? Did they call you? Were they afraid?
Gary, the interesting thing is that I was at the stadium till around 7:30, and around 6:30, the funny thing is the police came back again and fired some warning shots.
Again?
Yes, even after everything, all the referees had left, everybody had left, and we were just in front of. I mean, we've been to Baba a million times, I know.
Yes.
Around where the fountain is. We were just in that area having conversations, and then they came back again to fire some shots. I mean, why would she do that? And so, as a fan, I know I have some friends who play for these local teams, and I go to the stadium to enjoy them or watch them. But then, hey, maybe I would choose to watch a Sunday special in the morning and sleep in the afternoon. Not to go to the stadium to suffer these brutalities from the Ghana police. I mean, it's
and as, you know,
I was shocked. And yesterday I was so shocked.
Yeah,
I was shocked,
especially when, as for you people like you and Enoch and others, the stadium there you keep going because you like the football and you like your club, you know. But we are trying to attract those who cannot be bothered, and that is what worries me. You know, we want new supporters to come to the stadium, or the Kotoko fans who have not been to the stadium since May 9, who have not been to the stadium in 5 years because they can't be sure of their safety, and so on and so forth. So please, the assignment I want to leave with you is that while we also try to speak to the police with our medium or our media, and speak to the Ghana Football Association to keep educating the match officials, it's important that we ask fans to exercise restraint. So just like, you know, for Muslims and Christians, the biggest ambassadors are the people who experience the love of God. So those who like the love of football, I beg you, tell your friends. And me, I know that if I have a drink with you right now, and I tell you to pinpoint one or two people, you will tell me. But today this is on radio, so you won't say. So go and tell those people that, Charlie, it doesn't help anybody if they throw missiles and stuff like that. So that's all I'll leave you with. Thank you for your time.
I even have a direct family who have experience with May Night, which is my dad, because my dad was at the stadium when it happened. So I don't think my dad. Do you think my dad will even advise me to go and watch any?
Does your dad know that you even went to the game?
He doesn't. He doesn't. I do it for the love of the game.
He will kill you.
Exactly. I do it for the love of the game. So I was going to the stadium, go watch my football. Even when my dad, even when I was in the stadium yesterday, my dad was calling me because of the noise. I couldn't pick up, and I didn't pick up.
Charlie,
so what if it happened to me?
What's what ding echo?
Because Charlie gave me pay and then move in our body. So I can't even stay home on Sunday and say I'm going to fold my hands or listen to commentary. I need to be in the stadium to see these guys. Because off season, these are the same guys we play on you know, bad pitches or whatever pitches in our communities. And so if they, professional players, playing in our league, I can't stay home. Of course, I need to go and give them my support. But hey, if I'm going to stadium and this is going to happen, and my family, with the experience of my dad on May night, come on, man.
Thank you. Echo, we appreciate your time, and let's keep the conversation going on Twitter as usual.
All right, Gary. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So those were fans. I actually neglected one important part. Echo Pinkra, who we spoke to there, also told me off air before we came on air that he's been a victim of police brutality before. This is not the first time he's seen this. Yesterday he was not a victim, but he said that he's been beaten at the stadium before, and I wanted him to narrate that incident, but unfortunately his line dropped. So George, we have comments, lots of comments coming in.
This is like what, Ghana Connected?
I know.
Okay, so that's Gary Good Show.
That's from Godwin.
Yeah, and he says that the statement by the Kotoko official must not go like that. He must be punished fast to restore sanity in a game. There's a real test case for Ket's presidency. Hearts lost to Chelsea in Accra and nothing happened. They have made the Kumasi Stadium like a jungle. I remember vividly the terror the Kotoko people unleashed on the Ivorian team in the African campaign, and nobody condemned it. Why wouldn't they be emboldened? That's Godwin from North Kaneshi there. Okay.
So the number is 0244340437. We know you know, but for those who want to chip in for the first time, 0244340437.
Yeah, Ralph Ziggy from Peve in the Volta region says that, Gary, we need VAR at our match venues. When people talk about referees being unfair, do they watch European football at all? That's Rafsigi, that's an important one because it's
Very important point.
We are not saying it must be allowed, but it's almost part of the game. You have to get used to it. Now, let me see. You get the message.
Gabriel.
Is it Gabriel? Okay, Gabriel.
He says, can we take quick action?
Okay, so can we take quick actions against footballers and the referees in Ghana, as happened in England recently? In fact, 1 or 2 weeks at most. That's Gabriel. Okay, yeah, that's you're looking forward to that action. Okay, so that's it.
And he says, can't referees change their minds when they are corrected
when
here?
they're corrected here in Ghana? Then he says,
but who's going to correct the referee on the pitch? That's the thing.
That's the
You
big
see,
one.
yeah.
I don't know whether he's talking about the match commissioner. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's going to be very, very difficult there. That's why Kotoko fans are guilty of such behavior. Each day Hearts beats them is by juju, or the official is helping Hearts. When they beat Hearts, it's all right. What kind of attitude is that? The main incident was instigated by Kotoko fans from La. Well, but
As for me, I know he's a known Hearts fan. So,
Yeah.
George, you can click anywhere on the screen. Anywhere on the screen, it will go. Yeah. So keep your comments coming in 0244340437. This is the Joy Sports Track. It's been a fire edition, hasn't it?
Joy 99.7 FM.
Alrighty, so George, what I want from you now is the final 7 minutes. Give us an idea of, I mean, as we preempt the statement from the GFA, it's quite clear that fans in the stadium had a different view from the official decision that the ref gave. We've also seen videos, but because they are not, super slow-mo or whatever, we can't have an independent opinion of what happened. So we have about 2 different interpretations of what happened. We would need the match commissioner's report, we would need the official report, and so on. But you've just come from England. You saw about 3 or 4 games, Manchester games, Chelsea games, Crystal Palace games, and so on and so forth. Our technology and whatever may not be as developed as they are, but the principles are the same. Are the same. So talk to me.
I think it's important that fans understand that the results would not go your way. In this case, all the time. And in this case, Gary, I feel that the Kotoko fans went into the stadium thinking about something already.
Yeah.
Because once they heard preconceived mind, once they heard the referee's name, they were like, this guy again. So they were ready for just anything. And that's why all the comments leading up to the game, for some people, they feel like, oh no, you guys instigated, you incited the fans to come in there, because you don't even need to be going at that on that tangent, because fans are fans. And I've said fans are like that. They're the same way everywhere. The difference is the mechanisms and the structures put in place. One of the key things, Gary, that we have failed to do in Ghana is, we are talking about the police, we're talking about the Ghana Football Association. Now, the clubs must show us the commitment by also fishing out those who make causing trouble. But if Kotoko comes out and says that 1, 2, 3, 5 fans, we have banned you from watching games,
and we are handing you over to the police.
All of us, immediately the fans know that you don't have the backing of the club. And like we have been following this most of the times, the hooligans are known. They are used sometimes, they are needed sometimes, in quotes, they are needed sometimes, and so it's difficult to push them out. And because of the connections, we try to keep them undercover, and it's difficult to deal with it, because I know
hooligans are not strangers.
No, they are there. They
are brothers,
our friends. They're connection. And like you're saying, when the fans were on the phone, our Little Sports Connect, we're telling them that they know you probably know that that guy likes doing that. That's his brother, that's the uncle. But if you're not ready to give them up, then it means that you're not ready to let this go. Because they need to face it just up. Because I'm worried, Gary, when I go to the stadium. Sometimes I will go to the stadium not because, and these days I have a big heart for players. I don't go to the stadium because I'm going to pick a result, but I go there because I'm going to see a player, I'm going to talk to a player. You make it difficult for those who want to come to the game go. So one, I want to see commitment from Kumasi Asante Kotoko in trying to get the guys who were involved in this. The videos available and we know them. Can we get them out? It's easy to say, GFA, take action. GFA, take action. Your statement has, but how far can the GFA go? The GFA will do its bit, but we need to see the commitment of our clubs. Saying that 1, 2, 3 players, we get them out. If that's the case, it's fine. Because for mistakes, Gary, sometimes you see the mistakes that video technology can make. And I know, like they say, it pains, it can pain. You know that Kumasi Asante
You will
Kotoko,
bleed.
yes, Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Hearts of Oak are playing in not long, in some few weeks.
In 3 match days time.
So the build up is necessary for any Kumasi Asante Kotoko fan or Hearts of Oak fan.
Yeah.
They want to keep winning so that they will be on top form. I understand all of that. But it cannot come at the cost of someone's life. It cannot come at the cost of
Someone's eye.
Someone's eye. We can't do that, please. And the other part of this is, Gary, our security services, they need to sit up.
Slow
the police
down.
need to sit up, really. I mean, you are not in the battle. You're not dealing with armed robbers in this situation. And like you were saying, the referees who were the center of the whole thing were whisked away.
Yeah.
So then why the shooting? And the guy was even telling us they came after to fire again.
After an hour.
So they were showing the guys that yes, we can kill you. But that's what we're doing. Why do you shoot into the people?
Yeah.
You can. There's so many things. I don't want us to go on and be like we are
Sure.
security experts trying to tell the police what to do. But
But
I'm
we're
happy
speaking
that they've
as
indicted him
fans
and they can
as
move on from
people
there. Yes.
Who go to Stadia as well. So I mean, away from all that, the match day 4 will be here.
Yes.
On Wednesday.
That's Wednesday.
So this is the standing. We use the last 2 minutes to talk about
But
the
just a
standing.
quick one, Gary. I'm wondering if in the end
Yeah.
the FA decides to ban Kumasi Asante Kotoko,
Home games, yeah.
they have to look at the kind of ban.
Yeah.
Because if it's not an empty stadium, Kumasi Asante Kotoko will still have their way with fans coming in.
No matter
And-
where it is.
And if it's an empty stadium, what about the other team playing revenue?
True. So these are all questions, and that's what they say heavy.
The
Heavy-
head that
yeah,
wears the crown.
that wears
Lies
the
the head
crown.
that wears the crown.
So it's not easy. It's a major test for
yeah.
the new GFA administration, and it will be interesting to see what they say. It's been great having you, but on the table, Adriana Stars are top of the league at the moment.
Yes, they are.
Ash Gold are second, same on number of points with Adriana, 9 points each, but Adriana have more goals. Midiama are third with 7 Dreams, fourth with 7. Wafa fifth with 7, Brekum Chelsea sixth with 7, as well as Asante Kotoko 7. On Sunday, on Wednesday we are having Asante Kotoko in action against. They are going to Takwa.
That's good.
That's going to be a difficult game. They are playing Mediama.
That's a good game. Good game.
It will be a good game, and hopefully by that time we'll be having something concrete from all the quarters as well. We have a few seconds. We have a final comment. Gordon from North Carnegie says,
says
"We love our game,
Kotoko
and
people.
Kotoko people cannot
Can't stop us.
stop us." All right, I'm Gary Al Smith. George Ado Jr. was here, and it was great having fans speak to us passionately about what is bothering them. Time now for the news, and I'm sure Komla Adom has a word or two on what's been trending from here and there also. Komla?